Hey there, cinephiles. Welcome to Yeti Talks, the show in which I bring on a guest. Today we're getting into Whisper of the Heart, a gem from another animation studio, Ghibli or Ghibli Studios, however you pronounce it. This is one of my favorites from their catalog, and that means I had to bring on a guest who had a lot to say about it. He's an up-and-coming writer-director from Brazil with multiple projects in the works. He's got strong opinions that can rival mine, and he's someone I'm happy to call a friend. That's right, today I have Kevin. How you doing?
Good. Oh my gosh, such an honor. Great introduction. Hello, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, how you feeling? I know you said before we got on air you weren't expecting to be on, but I had to bring you on for at least one.
Yeah, I didn't expect you to invite me, honestly.
Well, Kevin, I'm excited to have you on here. I hope you're excited to be here.
I am.
Um, let's get into Whisper of the Heart.
Let's do it.
And I have one question to start off.
Mm-hmm.
Now, why did you want to talk about this movie and what does it mean to you?
This movie means so much to me. It's my favorite Ghibli movie, and I feel like it's such a good coming of age and it. It's just first time I watched this movie, it was it was like meant to be, I guess. Like the first time I watched it, it was the exact time that I needed to watch it, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
I was in a time of my life that I didn't know what I wanted to do. Like the character, like Shizuku, she's also trying to figure out her life. So I guess we're in the same spot, and watching that on that moment of my life made me realize that I can do my dreams, that I can push through it, and I can learn about myself and make a decision to follow this path and make it happen. And that movie made me realize that. And I've never thought, I mean, it sounds simple to just switch your mindset, but it's sometimes because of your surroundings, it's so difficult. And then when I watched that movie, it clicked in my head that whole like, oh, I just have to make a decision. I just have to say, I want to follow this path, push through it, and make it happen. And that's why this movie is so special to me, because it helped me realize that and was like perfect for like almost like a time capsule of like a decision that I had to make in my life. And yeah, that's the reason why it's my favorite Ghibli movie. And it's so well done. It's such a lovely film.
I know this movie came out in 1995.
1995.
Neither of us were alive back then,
Mm-mm.
but you mentioned you saw this at a time that you needed to in your life.
Uh-huh.
What was your experience with other Ghibli films at the point that you saw this, and how long ago have you seen it actually now, and how many times have you seen it since?
I feel like I've seen it like so many times. I lost count.
Hmm.
Probably like 10, I guess. Like I've seen it so many times, but I only watch it when I don't know, when I want to refresh my memory about it, when I want to come back to those feelings and stuff like that, because it's very emotional to me, so I tend to not like keep repeating and repeating and repeating. For some reason, I use it as like a almost like a comfort film to look back at myself and say, "Hey, I was there um at certain time and like now I'm here." I don't know, some sort of like looking back and being proud of me and saying, yeah, I pushed through it. I did what she did. And then like, this is me now. So yeah, I feel like I watched it a couple times. Yeah,
And how did you stumble across it? Because I know you are a Ghibli fan overall. Was this one of the first ones you seen from them?
that
Was
was
it
not the
one?
first one.
Okay.
So it was like during the pandemic,
Hmm.
because in Brazil, all the Ghibli movies, they're on Netflix. They're not on HBO Max. I don't have no idea why, but yeah, they're all on Netflix. And I started watching. I stumbled upon Spirited Away. So then I watched Spirited Away, and I was like, I was so good. I was like, my gosh, these movies are so good. And it was in the same time that I was also trying to come here and like learning English and stuff like that. So I was very like watching different things with different languages all the time. So I stumbled upon Whisper of the Heart, Spirited Away, and I watched Spirited Away, and then I just kept. I'm gonna watch all of them. I'm
Hmm.
gonna watch all the Ghiblis, and to this today I've seen it all of them. I've seen all the Ghibli movies, but the one that stayed with me the most was Whisper of the Heart, and would forever be my favorite film, my favorite Ghibli film. I think it's just because, like I told you, it was the perfect time for me
Hmm.
to watch that movie without realizing it was the perfect time for me to watch that movie. And I feel so like Shizuko for me is one of my she's one of my favorite characters on Ghibli, and she's so close. She's so me. I'm so her. So yeah, that movie holds a special place in my heart.
Yeah, it's very interesting how you said that because I think around the same time I started getting into the Ghibli movies. I haven't seen them all. I think I'm about halfway through, but of the ones I have seen, Kiki's is my favorite, which you and I
Love
have spoken
Kiki.
about. Yeah.
Yes.
And yeah, this one also jumped out to me. I don't know how I saw this one because I feel like this one isn't necessarily one of the tent poles in Ghibli, which I always found it interesting for it to be your favorite. It's one of my favorites too. So, in regards to how it's kind of perceived by others, especially as a person who's seen them all, why do you think maybe not? It's not as big a hit with other people, or do you think it should be and people are just wrong?
Yeah, no, I think it should be, honestly, but I don't know. Everybody has their own taste, and like the animation resonates to them in a different way. To me, I just feel like in comparison to all the Ghibli movies, Whisper of the Heart, it's like so the characters are so human, I guess. Like I could see myself in her, and even though like some of the other characters, like the emotions are exaggerated and like they're all like this fantasy, and Whisper of the Heart also has fantasy, but it's also more human and more like, oh, I've been there. I know what she's feeling. Like I know how to. There was a point in my life that I didn't know what I wanted to do, and like I was confused and I was sad, and and then Shizuku, she shows that, and I feel like for me, it's just unique. Like it's a different approach to characters within Studio Ghibli, and it's interesting to say because that reflects on the filmmaking of it as well. Because the director Kondo, he only did that movie. Like that was his only feature film, which is pretty sad because he's so good. Like I wish I could have seen more of his work. I think he, if I'm not wrong, he worked a little bit on Mononoke, but then like Studio Ghibli, the Whisper of the Heart was released in '95, and I think he died on '98.
Oh wow.
So he died,
Yeah.
like yeah. It's pretty sad, and like from what I was reading about it, it sounds like he died from an aneurysm
Oh wow.
of basically overworking himself within the actual studio. Don't quote me on it. I might be wrong. I have no idea, but
Yeah.
don't quote me on it. I don't know, but the last time I read it, it was about that, and it's like it's interesting to see Shizuko and like her whole like going. I'm gonna put all my heart into this and work, and I can do this. Like I can't write this book, and in comparison to the director itself. So I think he put a lot of him on the character. I feel like that's the reason why she's so human, she's so like real, and we can resonate with her so much. But it's so sad to, that happened. But I guess art lives forever, and then now we're able to go back and look at his work and, I don't know, learn something from it.
Yeah, I mean, that's it's really interesting that you say that because you do see that. You see it in our main character here. She like, like everything in her life just kind of goes wrong a little bit, because she wants to prove to herself that she can write this book. She's pouring herself into it, and spoiler alert, by the way.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Once she's finished with that, she's like, okay, I can give my all like into the next thing. So I didn't know that about the director. It's really tragic, but like you said, art lives on forever, and we get a great movie out of it. One that's so full of life. We got to rewatch this together along with another friend of ours, and it was her first time watching it. It was you and I's however many time, and yeah, there's so much life in the storylines that we even barely get to see. I forget the cat figure's name.
Yeah, he has a bunch of names. The one that I always call him Moon because it's all the one that when I watched the first time, I was like, Shizuku and Seiji, they all call him Moon, but he's like,
Sorry, not the actual cat. The Baron, I
the
believe.
the Baron.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
so you're
yes.
not talking about the
Yeah,
actual
yeah.
cat. You're
Yeah.
talking about the figure. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I mean, both of them have completely different storylines, but like the Baron itself, that being a reflection of the owner of it, uh, you get this little like vignette almost of
Mm-hmm.
of the Baron storyline and the owner's storyline compared to the Baron, and it's, that alone is
Mm-hmm.
feature film worthy, you know.
Yes. Yes.
But then you
Agreed.
do have Moon,
Mm-hmm.
the big old loaf of a cat, whatever he's up to,
Yeah.
that weirdly enough, you talk about like it feeling realistic. The way he acts almost feels like magical realism
Mm-hmm.
too, which I always find that interesting too. And yeah, I completely agree. This just feels, in comparison to other Ghibli movies, which does have more overt magical realism
Mm-hmm.
to just full on magic,
Mm-hmm.
this does feel the most grounded,
Yes.
which I do appreciate. But you still feel the
Yeah, it's still
magic in
there's
it.
fantasy in
Hmm.
it, you know. But like it holds a fine line between the fantasy and realism, and it's so
Hmm.
well done because
Hmm.
of that. And I think it was because it was a combination of the director Kano
Hmm.
with Miyazaki,
Hmm.
because Miyazaki, like all of his characters and everything, it's always like fantastic and
Hmm.
like the characters all express their emotions like very big. So I feel like combining them make that what's what made Spirit of
Hmm.
Whisper of the Heart so good.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's definitely unique coming from the studio. And what I really love too is how sentimental it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about finding the magic in your everyday life too. Like there's one of your favorite scenes you said when we were
Yeah.
watching it, when they're all kind of playing music together,
Mm-hmm.
and it just kind of happens out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, majority of the characters in that scene don't even come in until halfway through either, when they're
Mm-hmm.
already singing and playing. And that scene also just, I almost, choked up watching it.
I
Like
always
it's,
cry on that scene. Like that scene is the one that always make me cry. And then when I watch it for the first time, that also made me cry, which was interesting because I was like, why am I? There's nothing bad happening.
mhm,
Like they're just singing this song, but for some reason it's so sentimental and like
mm,
it's a big moment for both of them as well. I've never to this day understood why it makes me cry, but it does, and it's just like I don't know. I feel like it's just special.
mhm,
And then like when she doesn't treat as a moment that I don't know, she just felt free,
mhm,
like you don't see her nervous or anything. She just starts singing, and when the other people came, she continues to sing and she's just excited. And I feel like that that's very nice. I feel like that's I was in a moment as well that I was like trying to figure out when I watched this movie for the first time, trying to figure out my career and my path. And I've always loved art, and then
mhm,
that this movie is basically about love of art,
mhm,
being music or storytelling. And I feel like that moment when both of them are just immersed in it and saying, "I love art. We're
mhm.
on this together," and then I can find people around me that also love the same thing. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great point that you make. And I don't know, I think that's also why it's so beautiful. You talk about the love for art in it, which is just so clear, and you see it in so many different types of art too. Like at the beginning of the film, she's writing this song,
Hmm.
shout out Country Road, which we'll
Shout
get
out
into in a
Country
bit.
Road.
You have that she's writing a book. You have
Hmm.
the main guy in it who's a violinist but also a craftsman. Like they go through so many different types of art in this movie, and
Hmm.
they show an affinity towards it, which is just
Hmm.
beautiful to see. And I mean, that's the scene that we were talking about. It's just beautiful because it is that, right? It's like a little celebration of it and how it can bring people together,
Hmm.
especially with our two main characters not necessarily being the nicest towards each other
Hmm.
up until this point, really. So yeah, it's just one of those where it really is so touching.
Hmm.
So I
Yeah.
completely get why you cried for
Yeah,
it.
no, definitely. That's one of my favorite scenes in the movie.
What's another scene that you love from this? Like what really puts it up there? Because I know you said it a
Yeah.
few times
I
while we
said
were
a few
watching.
times because it's like, oh, the whole movie. I love it, the whole movie.
Hmm.
But I love that scene. I feel like that might be my top one. But I also love the scene where she goes to her friend for comfort when Saji decides to go, he's gonna go to Italy and learn how to make violins. And then she goes to her friend and she comes out all empowered. And then she basically says that I can do this. Like I can also do it. If he can't do it, I will also do that. So like that scene to me, I like it so much because it incorporates the what I just said before, and the fact that sometimes we put so many barriers, like so many things, when it's just us, like we just have to make the decision and deal with the consequences. And then on that was the scene for her, that she was like, okay, I'm in the middle of this exams to go to high school, but I'm gonna put it aside because I want to push myself. I'm gonna write the story and make this happen. So I mean, yeah, that also is one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, I mean it is great scene after great scene. So I definitely understand why you keep saying it. But now let's get into the song itself. You know, the song that kind of sticks with all of us after it. It is a little jarring at first to hear that song. You know, but I know you had an explanation for why it's in the film.
It's interesting to know, like to watch this movie today and look at that song that way. But being honest with you, I watched this movie in Brazil in the middle of the pandemic. I personally have never heard Country Road in English until that movie, which is insane. So the first time I've heard it was on that film. Like I had no idea that was like a song, a country song that would reference something else.
Yeah.
So that was the first time I heard it. So I've never felt like this, okay, on the internet right now, it's like this, song that everybody knows and has like, there's memes, there's stuff like that around it. I didn't have that perspective. So when I watched the movie for the first time, that was my first experience. So I didn't feel anything about it. But I did love the Japanese version. I feel like the Japanese version was my favorite. And then after watching it, I kept listening to the Japanese version. I was like, and then later on was when I was like, oh yeah, there's an English version as well. But at first, at least to me, my first experience with the Country Road was that one, was watching Whisper of the Heart.
Yeah, I mean, I believe the first time I heard it which was also kind of later than, a quote unquote American would hear it. I heard it in the second Kingsman.
Oh.
One of the characters sings it in it when he's about to like pass away. And it's just a very funny, kind of through line that this movie just randomly shows up in movies. But it is a beautiful song, and I understand why they use it, and how these characters sing it, whether it be with different lyrics, like at the beginning and such too. It's such a beautiful song, and I feel like it does somehow capture this, even though it is a very American
Most
song.
definitely. Like it's what opens and ends the film. And it's interesting to see that once they open, another spoiler, guys, I'm sorry. Once it's opening stock, the Country Road is playing, and then it keeps showing city landscapes. So it's people not in the country. It's like city life and like public transportation, people walking in the streets. It's totally like the opposite of Country Road. It's saying the song saying. So it's very like well put together within the film, and it's like. To me, it's a perfect choice.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like you said, it's so juxtaposed to so many things, culturally, like literally physically where they're at, but it works so well. And there's even just a blanket spoiler again, but there's even in the end, you do see another kind of loose end kind of tie up during the credits with this song over it, and it just makes it all the more beautiful. So I'm definitely going to think of this movie every time. And it's just a good song too. So I'm glad both are great. And, you're able to really just kind of feel it on multiple levels.
No, yeah, it's so good. And the whole like translation that she does of her own perspective, because you can clearly see that she didn't grow up in the country. She's in the city. And she changes all of that to the most sentimental side and like how she feels and stuff like that. And it becomes like almost like the same thing, but not the same thing at the same time, because she's talking about the whole like something that I'm gonna miss within myself. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's just beautiful.
Yeah, and I'm sorry to bring this up, but I know there is a live action movie, which I didn't know until you brought it up.
No, I'm not watching. Don't watch the live action, guys.
Well,
no hate to whoever did it, but no.
Have you seen it though? I thought you had. Oh, okay. Because I was gonna have some follow-up questions on how that song is utilized, if it is
I
utilized.
don't know. I'm not watching that. I'm not watching that. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, which is crazy because the live action one came out in 2022, I believe.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, it's
There's
interesting.
only one movie to me, Jeremy, and that's the one.
And I get it. But it is very interesting that they made a live action of this. I wonder how the Baron stuff plays. You
Yeah,
know,
I have no idea.
you and I saw a still of this already, and we just were not for it, which is very unfortunate.
No,
Uh, just because I can't even explain how it looks. Like it just looks so
no.
cosplay
Mm-mm.
almost.
I know. There's some like, please don't ruin my movie. Oh,
But yeah, I mean, I fully thought you had seen it, and that's why you
no,
had these negative feelings
no.
towards it. But I am interested to see if we end up watching it one day, just to compare. You know,
Honestly,
just
yeah,
purely
but
on
I
a.
feel like I can't.
Mm.
I'm just scared that they're gonna ruin my favorite movie, and I'm gonna be like, ugh,
It's okay.
guys.
You have the original that exists. You know, it would be purely like an academic thing,
I
just being like,
guess
this is why you shouldn't do this. You
this is
know,
why I shouldn't do
I
this.
mean,
Yeah.
it kind of harkens back to like when they did the quote unquote live action Lion King, even though
Uh
it's
huh.
fully CG,
Hmm.
and how it's crazy how near perfect the original one is. But then you
Yeah.
have, as soon as you do CGI or whatever to make it look live action, it just loses all its charm.
Just yeah.
Which speaks to the power of animation, you know. And we
Hmm.
have a mutual friend of ours who doesn't necessarily like this
Yeah.
animation,
Hmm.
which is okay.
It's okay. It's not. It's not at all.
But no, I mean, it's a beautiful looking movie. The colors in this just pop. I mean, so many of the backgrounds, the way they're able to either be blurry or just feel still but alive, you
Yeah,
know?
and I saw something somewhere that the director tried to reflect Tokyo like
Mm-hmm.
the way it was,
Mm-hmm.
not this like fantasy or pretty. So like when you watch it, you see like the clothes hanging
Mm-hmm.
outside and like the street and like trash and all that stuff, like almost like it's real Tokyo.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely feels lived in.
Mm-hmm.
There's a scene where the older sister
Mm-hmm.
is like doing the laundry and stuff, and you know, when they're walking, you just kind of see, you know, not necessarily like scuff marks, but you see that everything's lived in. It's not as
Yeah.
clean, you
Uh-huh.
know. Well, I mean, still relatively clean, but
Mm-hmm.
you get what I mean.
Yeah. No.
And you know, there's just moments in scenes where even her main character, she's talking with this one guy who likes her.
Mm-hmm.
They're in this, I don't even know what you would call it, but they're like kind
I
of
don't
in
know
the
how you
woods.
call it either, but it's like
Yeah,
it's almost like a prayer, like
like a little temple. Yeah,
temple. Yeah.
exactly. But like that just feels, it has, that temple has nothing to do with the story or anything,
Nothing.
but they're just having this scene there, and it feels
Mm-hmm.
nice to see all these different aspects. Because like
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even think about it honestly until you mentioned it, but Tokyo always uh, feels like a city, you know, a
Mm-hmm.
very specific type of vibe, and Japan overall feels like a very specific type of way to be portrayed normally.
Mm-hmm.
And so for this movie to kind of make it feel like a normal day-to-day place where you
Mm-hmm.
can live and experience all kinds of crazy things, especially the school stuff I love,
Yeah.
you know, and that goes out to the characters too, like all the random kids that are trying to be very
Yeah.
nosy,
Uh-huh.
you know, that makes it feel lived in and real
Mm-hmm.
as well. So
Yeah,
I
and
really do appreciate the realism
yeah.
of this movie.
And I love that you mentioned the characters, like the side
Mm,
characters, they like we don't another thing that I like about this movie is that like we don't have to get to know them completely for
mm,
them to matter within the story, which they're just there but we already like have, because it's like all about Shizuku and like how the world exists as well,
mm,
and she lives in the world, it's not her world.
mm,
So I like that all the students and all the characters around her, even though we don't talk much about them or
mm,
they're like their origin stories, but they have an impact on her and we
mm,
see that. And I feel like that's like us,
mm,
like in life, you know, everywhere we go there's people that we don't know their, you know, where they come from or their origin stories, but they also have an
mm.
impact on us, being school, work, or whatever.
Hmm. No, I mean that's completely right, and that, you know, again leads into the realism. Yet there's also this like mysticism with that. Like it's kind of insane how a person can be in your life so brief yet have so much impact. You know,
Yeah.
and kind of going into the stuff you've made, I know
Mm-hmm.
you really center your ideas in your films on relationships and such.
Mm-hmm.
And one question I had for you was how
Mm-hmm.
this film kind of dictates that, or has
Mm-hmm.
any inspiration if it does.
I think it does, to be
Mm,
honest, because I feel like I'm always drawn to, I don't know, humanity, like relationships and
mm,
like connections and feelings. And I feel like this movie is all about that. So every time I'm writing or I'm creating something, I always lean towards that. It's like what touches me, what like keeps me going, because I feel like um, life it's such a, how do you say, it's something that we all go through it sometimes differently, but it has some sort of like common things that we all like, universal things. And I feel like feelings are some sort of like that, like it's something universal. We all feel happiness or sadness in different ways, but we feel that. So I feel like I've always been drawn to this type of things, and I every time I'm making something and I'm writing, I'm always going on that side. That's why I love drama.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's a good point, and I know you mentioned with this too, like it being realistic and how that adds to why it's amongst your favorite in the Ghibli, rather your favorite actually. So it's nice to hear that you get that little inspiration for it, and I don't know if you ever like even imagine these characters in your writing sometimes, because I know you write a bunch too. We don't necessarily
Yeah.
see it on the screen, but you're always, every
Yes.
time we talk, there's always another
Idea or
idea.
something going on. Yeah. But I feel like one thing that I liked also, they do sometimes come up in my writing, but also in my life. Like I can see me being her or being him in certain aspects of me. And I feel like that's what the biggest thing, the biggest takeaway from this movie, that I can see myself and I want to be able to do things that people can also see themselves in it, and like learn something from it, and like grow, or might maybe that be that churn, the key churning in your head, because that's what this movie was for me. And when I watch it for the first time, so I hope to make things that could have that same impact in other people's lives.
I totally get that. Want you always want to pass on the feeling that you get from some art to
Yeah.
others. Now to go back to Ghibli as a whole, I know this is your favorite. What are some others that you would say is up there with it? I know you mentioned Spirited Away earlier, with that being the first one you've seen, but
Yes.
what else would kind of round out like your Mount Rushmore, if you will?
Okay, let me think about this. I honestly, Whisper of the Heart would be the first one for sure. I do love Kiki. Kiki has such a special place in my heart too. There's one that it's very sad. So that's that's one. Grave of the Fireflies. It's so good and so well done. I think it would be there. Do you want like a top five, a top four? What do
Yeah,
you?
we can go top five if there's
Okay,
five.
so we got Whisper of the Heart, Kiki, Grave of the Fireflies, and then I think I'm gonna say House, just because I love how House look. It's so good. Like it's so well done. Um, yeah, there's my last one. I think this is a tie because it might be Ponyo with I don't want to mispronounce this film, but it's like Family Yamada. I think that's what
Oh, the
it called.
Yamadas. Yeah.
Yes. So if I did butcher there, I'm so sorry. But I love that movie just because of the family aspect of it, and like the comedy, and like how the animation's so creative and so innovative, and like that it comes to life as you're watching it. So I love that movie.
Yeah, My Neighbors, the Yamadas. That's the one.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
of your list, that's the only one I haven't seen yet.
Oh my
I
gosh, you should
really
watch
need.
it.
I know I love, like you were saying, the animation is just so unique, and I just need to continue going through all of these Ghibli movies, and looking at the list that I have up here. I don't even know if I've seen half now that I mention it.
Okay, tell me them.
So the ones I haven't seen.
Yeah.
So the ones I haven't seen, it's The Cat Returns, which that's the spin-off.
That's yes. You should watch that one
Yeah.
now. That's
Which-
your homework after
Yeah.
this.
Which that one we got to get into as well, because I know you mentioned it is good.
It
it's
is,
just
yeah.
not quite as good.
It's to me is not quite as good. There's people that says that they like more, but I love Whisper of the Heart. I think Cat Returns is pretty. It's a very interesting. It's a different, like it's a spin-off out of Whisper of the Heart, and it's such a fun movie, to be honest. Like it's just fun to watch.
Okay. And is this one we're just following the Baron, or is it?
It,
Or-
it's basically I don't want to tell you because
Okay,
like I
okay,
don't
okay.
want to spoil anything, but like it's
No
the
worries.
Baron is in it.
Yeah.
But there's a story before you get to that.
Oh,
There's a
okay.
character that's
Okay.
gonna lead you to the Baron.
Okay. Okay.
Just gonna say that so it doesn't ruin your experience.
All right. Well, I'm definitely excited for it because they do set up like him as a fun character, even though technically it isn't real. And you get what I'm saying.
Yes,
But yeah, so I haven't seen that one. I haven't seen From Up on Poppy Hill. That's one I still gotta watch.
that one is very interesting. I
Yeah.
think you will like it.
Okay. I was gonna ask interesting, good or bad?
No, it's not
Yeah.
bad. It's not bad.
I haven't seen Tales from Earthsea, which that's the one that I feel like I hear is people's least favorite.
So you should watch it because everybody should watch Studio Ghibli no matter what. But the pacing on that movie, it's a little bit harsh. Like it's gonna take a while for you
Okay.
to get through it.
it.
Honestly,
Okay. Ponyo I have seen, but I haven't seen since I was a kid.
my gosh, Ponyo is so good. I love the colors on Ponyo. And then when I was watching for the first time, I was expecting something like Totoro, like okay, we're just gonna watch. It's just a vibe. And then when it gets to like deeper, I'm like, this is deep.
Yeah.
I'm like, this movie, it's deep.
Yeah. I definitely got to give it the rewatch. I know the American cast is stacked because we watched the trailer before we were watching Whisper of the Heart. We watched like a bunch of random trailers. And we saw the cast for it, and I kind of forgot how stacked it was for the dub. Which, before I continue to other films that I haven't seen from the studio yet, I know the answer, but for the audience, sub or dub?
He has to put me on this position. So I've never seen any Studio Ghibli dubbed way, except one, except Boy and the Heron, and this is a whole story, which was I bought my ticket to watch with subtitles. So to watch sub. So we went to the theater. When the movie starts playing, it's dubbed. And I'm like, no, like I don't want to watch dub. I know the cast. I know Robert Pattinson's in there, Florence Pugh, whatever. But I was like, I'm here to watch it with the subtitles. I want to watch it in Japanese. So we go there, and the guy is like, oh, we actually don't have that version. I'm like, what do you mean we don't have that? Like, we bought tickets to watch sub. And then he gave us a refund. We just had to watch the movie no matter what. So The Boy and the Heron, I did watch dubbed, but none of them I watched dubbed. All of them I watched subbed to this day. And honestly, I watched them so many times when I was practicing learning English that it did help me on my process because I would watch it in Portuguese sub, like the subtitles in Portuguese. And then because I watched it so many times, I would put the subtitles in English and like use it, which is I don't know how I got this idea, but I was gonna use it to like help with my speed in writing or in reading. So I would like make sure that I was getting everything, reading everything as they were speaking in Japanese. So that helped me very much on my process of learning English. I did that with every Studio Ghibli movie.
Nice. That's a great test, honestly, especially with the Japanese language,
Yeah, like at first, like the first movies, I was like, give me a little bit of a headache in the sense of like, oh my gosh, there's too much going on, Japanese and English, and I'm trying to understand English. But then by the second and third, it was fine, and I was like, my speed reading, it got faster, and I was like, okay, I guess this is improving. I'm learning.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, it's a very unique technique. I give you that. Normally when people tell me how they learn English, it's like through Friends or something.
I did that too. I use
go.
Friends too.
There you go. See, Friends is like the universal language learner for English, I feel like.
I think so. You get a lot of slangs.
Yeah, that's true, actually. Yeah, so it does make sense. But yeah, so definitively it's sub over dub.
Yes, 100%, no doubt.
Fair enough. I do like subtitled over dub. I don't know. Sometimes I'll put on a dub just to see like if it's an interesting cast. Like Boy and the Heron was an interesting cast, and you hear Robert Pattinson. Oh my God,
He did so good.
Yeah, he was great in it, so you had to hear it. And then sometimes you're just curious into why the heck, a certain actor did the dub. So like I know Christian Bale was in a couple of the dubs.
I think he was if I'm
It was
not
Howl for
mistaken.
sure, and then I think he
Yeah,
popped up. Was it? I don't know if I don't think it was Boy and the Heron, but it was another like later one.
I don't know.
Um, either way, very interesting. You know, like you
Yeah.
just don't expect certain names.
Mm-hmm.
Like I never would have thought Christian Bale would have
Mm-hmm.
done the dub.
Yeah, no.
So, but yeah, going back to the Ghibli movies,
Mm-hmm.
Ghibli
Yeah,
movies.
it's okay. I always say Ghibli.
I've heard it both ways.
I know,
You
but
know.
I've always said Ghibli and
Mm,
nobody corrected me, and I'm
yeah.
like, this is what how I'm saying. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I feel like it's because no one really,
No,
no
nobody
one here knows,
knows.
which I feel bad. We should definitely figure it out.
We should
But
figure it out. Yeah, but
another one I haven't seen is Pompoko.
hmm
That one I don't know too much about. Like I've heard it once or twice, but
I think you should watch it. But
mm.
being honest, that's the most forgettable one.
Oh,
Because me honestly, I've seen it, but I don't remember. Like I'm like, okay.
and then another is When Marie Was There.
Oh yeah,
That one I haven't.
yeah. You should
Heard
watch. That's one of the more recent. Let's put it that way,
Okay.
because it's like it's newer
Mhm.
than the other ones that you mentioned.
Okay.
You could see it on the animation when you watch it. You could
Mhm.
see, okay, oh, I can see this is like, but it's a very interesting story.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The Tale of Princess Kaguya.
Yes, that one is a good one
Mm-hmm.
too. The animation's fantastic. It's also another one like be like, wow, you guys really did this. This
Mm-hmm.
looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
The pacing is also a little bit, but other people might be like, no, you're lying. That's not
Yeah.
true. For me personally, it was a little bit, you know, but yeah, it was a little bit slow. But you get through it. You get
Mhm.
through it. It's not.
Next up is The World of Ariete. That
I
one.
love that movie. I can't believe I
Yeah.
forgot Ariel. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Definitely be on my top six.
Okay,
Definitely.
so that's the next one
For
left off.
sure. I love that movie. I love the songs. I
Mhm.
love their little family. The animation's so gorgeous.
Mm.
That one definitely is my comfort movie.
Okay, more
Mhm.
so than this one, or
Then Whisper of the Heart?
Yeah.
No, like
Okay.
definitely not. Like that's Whisper of
Yeah.
the Heart is my top one when I
Yeah.
want to have a good cry.
okay, but a different comfort. Then.
Yes, it's a
Yeah.
different comfort. Ariete is more like vibes and it's
Okay.
chill, and there's a little bit of adventure and it's fun.
I know that one. I remember seeing commercials for it, but I never
Mm-hmm.
I never watched it. Up next, we have Ocean Waves.
Ocean Waves is good
Mm.
too. Yeah, the animation is.
Again,
That's all I can gonna say. That's all I can say about Ghibli. It's
Yeah.
like they never miss the animation.
Mhm.
So.
That's good. And then I have The Wind Rises.
Mhm.
That one I feel like it feels like just another plane one when there's a lot of planes in his movies.
It's because Miyazaki loves planes. So like he has to do a movie about planes. And that movie to me,
Mhm.
it's him. Like it's his perspective on that whole story and everything. So yeah, I think that
Okay.
movie he made it, this is my movie, guys. I'm making
Mm-hmm.
it for me and period. So
Period, as you should.
hmm
Nazca, I haven't seen Nazca of the Valley of the Wind.
I love Nazca.
Mm-hmm. Only Yesterday.
Only yesterday.
Mhm.
Also, the animation is great. Very clever.
Okay.
Like the way they show the flashbacks and stuff like that. It's very clever.
Mhm.
You should definitely watch it. The whole story is so good. I don't know. All of them.
Mhm.
Just watch all of them.
Well, the last one that we haven't mentioned yet is Earwig and the Witch, which is the most recent, right?
Besides the Boy and the
Oh,
Heron.
besides Boy and the Heron, yes,
Because the
yes,
Boy
yes,
and the Heron
sorry.
is the
Yeah.
is the most recent. I don't want to talk about that movie.
'Cause
I'm kidding.
Was that his son?
That was his son.
Yeah.
That was okay. That was okay.
Yeah.
Me personally, I'm not a fan of that animation.
Mm.
He tried to do a 3D kind of thing, I guess.
Mm.
I was just not a fan. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, like I remember when I think that's why I think it's the most recent because
Mm-hmm.
it is 3D, whereas Boy and the Heron they go back to the 2D
Yes.
model, and I think they should stick to 2D.
I know.
You know? Yeah, I mean, what I've seen, I haven't seen much, but what I have seen of Earwig, not a fan.
Not a fan.
Like, Can't say much about the story, but at least the animation, it just feels like they're trying to do what they do with the 2D,
I know.
but like in 3D, and it just doesn't. I don't know. It just doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
You know.
Some people joke that Miyazaki came out of retirement just to fix what his son did, but I don't know. I'm not gonna be saying rumors and stuff like that. But yeah, honestly, yeah, I don't know. But I'm not watching. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that one.
Yeah, I mean, I have heard the story isn't as good either, which is really unfortunate when they're trying to take that swing into 3D.
Uh-huh.
But also, sometimes some studios should just stay where they're supposed to be.
Well, they're supposed to be, and then they're already good at what they do,
Yeah.
and it's just like, yeah.
And I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, that's kind of how I feel with the Disney films now. They obviously they do 3D animation, but I think they should start going back to 2D. Let Pixar be the 3D studio
Yeah.
for them. Because with Disney, like, I love some of the 3D movies that they have. I love Moana so much. But I don't know. It just feels like we should go back to 2D because I'm still always going to favor the look of the 2D from Disney, especially. Same as I would always favor the 2D for the Ghibli movies. You know, it just feels right. You know, to call a Disney film and you have it 2D, yes. To call a Ghibli movie and it's 2D, it just makes sense.
Yeah.
Pixar, DreamWorks. I know DreamWorks also has 2D movies, but they haven't had one in a while. But Pixar DreamWorks does feel like the 3D, studios. Not to say that each studio can only do certain things. I don't want to box them in. But there's a reason why we think of these art styles with these studios. And for you, I know you mentioned how often the artwork is so beautiful in Ghibli. Do you feel like that's basically like their strongest suit? Is the way that they're able to still even mix it up, like with my neighbors the Yamadas. That's very different from this film, you know, and Spirited Away and those things, but it's still just as beautiful.
Yeah. I think it's a combination because also the stories are very touching and it's very like emotional and sometimes entertaining and magical. So I think it's a combination of both. They're very hard workers. You can clearly see that the animation team on Ghibli, they work very hard on what they do. But also the stories are very touching and they resonate to a lot of people. I feel like that's why it's as big as it is, because they're not just do beautiful things, but they also do things that like make an impact on people.
No, I mean, I completely agree, especially for the types of fantastical stories that they're able to get to. Like, Princess Mononoke is a fantastical story.
Oh my gosh. It's so good.
And, like, I don't know, just imagining that in any other medium, I think it's a bit difficult because it is so fantastical. And yet the characters do feel very fleshed out.
Yes.
You know? I don't know, it's in a world where, going back to Disney, you know, and even DreamWorks now, like they're doing the live action films from their animated movies. You just feel like you lose that magic when it's in a different medium. It's just so, either it's, not to say it's too fantastical, because you can film anything and make it believable in the world. But the way they do it, it just doesn't feel as fantastical as it should be, you know, once they translate it over. And one thing that recently was announced from Disney specifically was the live action Lilo and Stitch 2, which I feel like we're really losing it all, because Lilo and Stitch 2, like, all the sequels of Lilo and Stitch were never in the theaters. Like, there was a show and everything like that. Everything was either shown on TV or direct to DVD, which I know we don't have direct to DVD anymore, not really. But the fact that they're getting into that now, I feel like we need to fight back in some way, because you're losing that beauty, you know, in the animation. And they even showed one of the characters in it, and it's a duller version, you know.
Oh wow.
Which sucks. Just on color alone, it's a duller version. And like you mentioned, how you love the colors in so many of these movies. Like, it's just,
I didn't watch Lilo and Stitch, the live action. I didn't at all.
You
I've
don't
only
need to.
watched the originals.
Yeah, I mean, and the original one's so good.
So,
that was one movie that I thought of when rewatching Whisper of the Heart was because of the backgrounds. They're just done in such a beautiful way. Where in Lilo and Stitch, it's basically in like watercolor at times.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it just feels so true to its culture and
Mm-hmm.
its vibrancy and
Yep.
its unique art style. And you see
Mm-hmm.
that in here too,
Yeah.
and I just really appreciate that. Like backgrounds is always one thing I look for
Yeah.
in animated films because it's beautiful to look at,
Mm-hmm.
when so many live action films. Exactly.
They try.
Shrug.
They try.
Sometimes they don't though.
They don't. That's true. That's totally true.
Like again, I don't have anything. I mean, I have stuff against Disney, but it's not
Yes,
that I
stuff
hate.
against
It's not that I
Disney.
hate Disney, but like talking about backgrounds, like you look at the Doomsday trailer. Have you seen
Uh-huh.
that?
No.
So
Didn't. I'm
Doctor
sorry.
Doctor Doom
Uh-huh.
is like in this gray void
Uh-huh.
at one point, and you're like, where's the background? Whereas like I always appreciate these animated movies, especially 2D, because like you said, they're very hardworking. You see the artwork even in the background. It's just so beautiful and gorgeous to look at. And you even said the scene in which you had your own laptop screen, background from this.
I have, yeah. To this day, I've never changed. It's been like what, 2 years almost. It's the same background for my laptop.
And
that
it's not a
scene.
crazy still either.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
It's
please
not.
describe it to us.
And everybody like it's the scene after she finished the novel. Not the spoiler. Or like this, you gotta put something that says like spoilers.
Yeah, I think we said it enough times.
Yeah.
Hopefully they get the message.
I hope so. Because it's the scene after she finishes the novel, and then it's like a wide shot of the room, and then she lays on the ground, and it's just like her laying on the ground, looking at the window, and basically like defeated, like done. But it's also almost like that whole like hero's rest in a sense that she just accomplished this huge thing that she's been trying for like what, months, I guess, weeks. And she just finished it. It's done, and like she's exhausted. She's basically like done. But to me, it represents that. It represents that like she fought for that. Every time I open my computer, everybody's like, "Oh, why is this so sad?" I'm like, "No, it doesn't. That's not the point of it. The point is like." She got it done. She completed what she put herself to it, and it's done. Even though she's exhausted, she's like, honestly, like done with everything. She achieved what she accomplished. She achieved what she tried to do. She finished the novel. So to me, it's a representation of victory. Honestly, you know what I mean?
That's honestly great. I didn't even put that together. Not that I was one of the ones making fun of you for it.
Yeah.
Because to me, I was just like, this is just a beautiful shot. I mean, like why wouldn't you have it as a background, You said it and I was like, yeah, that makes sense. It's a beautiful drawn thing.
Yes.
But like you said, to tie it back to how you feel about the movie, why it's your favorite, how you see yourself in these characters, to feel that accomplishment and finality, especially in that scene, you're rooting for her to finish this book, and for that to be the moment too that you have, it makes sense to have that be your background, especially because as a screenwriter, you do work on your laptop a lot.
Yeah.
And even as a filmmaker as a whole, like you're often looking at it, so you should look at something that makes you motivated.
Yes.
To remind you, yes, this is to be disciplined and keep going. So yeah, that's honestly very well put. One thing that I know many people do see from this movie and don't realize it too, I want to bring this up. Please tell us the lo-fi person is.
Oh, it's her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's a version that is Shizuku when she's working on the laptop.
Nice.
But there's so many lo-fi different versions that people has like the theories of like, oh, that's her daughter or whatever. And I'm like, okay. But there is one version that it's her. Like on YouTube, if you go, there's a frame that's like, oh, her, she's the lo-fi girl. Yeah.
And I mean, there's the lo-fi girl shot in this,
There's
which
a
is
lo-fi
why,
girl shot on this. Yeah.
For her to be basically the blueprint, I'm just going to credit it to this.
Yes, let's give it to her before lo-fi. But yeah.
No, I mean, because it's practically obviously there is differences, but it is practically 1-to-1, with the composition of the shot and everything like that. Whether or not you call it shots in this, whatever.
I don't know.
I still think you do.
Frames, I guess.
I still call it a shot.
Yeah.
There's an invisible camera.
There is an invisible camera, which is their eyes, guys.
Exactly.
But yeah, like It's interesting because when people don't haven't seen the film and they look at that image and means something else for
Mm,
them, it's like, oh, somebody laying on the floor like almost dead, like why do
mm,
you have this? But I feel like every time I open my computer, it reminds me of like I have to get through this day and like
mm,
get to that position that I'm gonna go home. I'm tired, but I accomplished all of this today, and then yeah, that's when we're producing or
mm.
writing or doing anything on my computer. Like that's what I want. I don't know, aim for at the end
Yeah.
of the day.
No, for sure. I mean, I totally get it. And now you just kind of remind me that I should have a background on my laptop because I used to have one on my old one, and
Uh-huh.
it was the silhouette scene
Hmm.
from La La Land.
Oh, that's cute.
In the whole what if
Yeah,
sequence,
yeah.
you know, Ryan Gosling is bringing oh my, I was gonna say Mia and mix up the character and actors' names. Emma Stone's character to the audition in this what if scene, and for some reason that stood out to me so much.
Hmm.
So it was kind of like the same thing, you know. It was just
Hmm.
like to make sure it gets done. Like live in the what if, don't live in
Don't even.
the sad.
Hmm.
But yeah, no, I just got to think of a frame that I like
Yes, you
and
gotta
put it
think
in
of a
there.
frame that you like, and then gives you
Mm.
that little boost every single day when you open your laptop.
Yeah, no, for sure, especially for how much I stare at it.
Hmm.
But yeah, any other thoughts with this movie? How else does it tie into your work that you would like to share? Any other fun little tidbits about the movie?
I feel like there's one that I
Mm,
forgot to mention earlier,
mm,
which is I would like you mentioned in the beginning. When this movie was released, neither of us were born,
yeah.
but that movie came out on my birthday, which I haven't been born yet because I was born in 2001, but the movie was released on July
Mm.
15th, 1995, and I was born in July 15th,
Yeah, you were negative
2001.
6 years old.
So yes, I was negative, yeah. So yeah, that's I've when I find that out, I was like, wow, this is even more special to me.
There you go, as it should be. I totally get it. I see the inspiration in your projects, and I see why you love it, and it makes sense. It's a great movie. If you haven't
Mhm.
seen this, like we mentioned earlier, like so many other Ghibli movies are spoken about before this one, but this is a top tier one.
Yeah.
It's not my personal favorite, but it's definitely up there. Like it's so well done. It feels so lively and real, and even the
Mhm.
characters in this,
Mhm.
they're 12. We found out it was like
I
12
think
to
so.
14,
Yeah.
but they feel so real in their age because they're awkward and they don't know how to deal with love or first
Mhm.
loves and all these wonderful things. So definitely check it out if you haven't yet.
Agree.
Um, Now, is there anything else you want to say on the movie? Um,
Yeah, for
or
sure. Like
mm,
I've like piggyback on what you said. I feel like everybody should watch this movie at least
mm,
once a time in your life, especially like when you're young. Like there's so many things. To this day, I feel like I'm still figuring out my
mm,
life, and I always go back to that movie, and it gives me that boost of like, I can do this. Like I can move through it. I can make my decisions. I can like achieve my goals, and I
mm,
feel like that movie gives you that, like gives you that strength for some reason that
mm,
you can do it. And even though the people around you are not pushing for the same thing that you do, that doesn't mean that you can't achieve
mm,
them. You can still go forward. And especially if you want to do something with art, like, music or writing, I don't know, like all of that, the movie just tells you pursue it, go
mm,
do it, make your decisions. And it's also like there's a whole metaphor that he gives her, that stone. I feel like that's all of us in the
mm,
beginning. Like you have to try, and then it's just a stone. And then once you keep going and keep like making things and writing, practicing, putting stuff out there, that polishes that stone, becomes a diamond.
yeah.
That's basically the metaphor that they talked about. He talks about with her. So that movie definitely has a message, and I feel like it's a message that everybody should, take some time and watch it.
Mm,
And I hope that impacts your life as much as it did to mine,
mm.
and like change that key of like, you got this, you can do it.
Yeah, very well said. I completely forgot about the
Mm-hmm.
stone scene. That's such a beautiful
Mm-hmm.
representation, especially with the older gentleman giving it to her later. It's just very sweet. All in all, very sweet, wonderful movie with so many positive layers to it, and just kind of keep going and try anything. You never know until you try. Like that's such a
Never
big
until you
thing with this
try.
movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, the main guy character in this, he literally goes to Italy just to see if he can make
Just to
it.
see if we can make it. Oh, yeah.
Like go for it is the whole thing with this, and I really appreciate that message.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Kevin, speaking of going for it, are there any projects you're currently working on? Is there anything you want to put out there? Anything you want to tag? Now's the time.
Yeah, yeah. I've been writing a bunch, honestly, right now, and taking my time on pre-production of some projects that I'm currently trying to make it. So there's nothing yet coming out. I do have my short film that it was in festivals. It's called Heartbeat and it was in festivals, and I'm releasing publicly this year in December. So I'll probably put that out, and then right now I'm just producing things with my friends and like writing more things and trying to keep busy and keep creating because I feel like that's what I'm here for.
No, for sure. Tell the people where they can find you and see these projects.
Yeah, you guys can go to my Instagram. I post everything over there. I think Jeremy's gonna put the link
Yeah.
somewhere, and like you can also follow me on LinkedIn. And yeah, let's connect. If you have any questions, need any help or any advice, I'm here for you.
Yeah, all the information will be down in the description below. Thank you, Kevin, for being on. This was a great conversation. Definitely check his stuff out. It's great. Shout out to Heartbeat. That was really, really good. I'm excited for all the other stuff. I know there's many other things that you haven't said that
Yes.
you're working on as well. Not in specificity, at least, but I'm excited to see. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for staying tuned. Be sure to stay tuned for more Yeti Films content, for more Yeti talks. Thank you again, Kevin, for being on
Thank you,
here.
Jeremy, for having me. This was so much fun. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Always an honor. I'm glad we got to talk Ghibli. Maybe we'll
Yes.
do the live action one sometime
Oh,
down the line.
I guess.
If the people want it, they got to
If the
tell us
people
down in
want
the
it,
comments.
yeah.
But yeah, tell us your favorite Ghibli movies down in the comments below. And yeah, that's it. That's it. That's a wrap on this episode. Thank you, and
Yay.
I'll watch you later.